Something within you refuses to surrender. Despite the disappointments, betrayals, and closed doors, you keep pushing through situations others would deem impossible. Even when your energy is nearly depleted, you choose to stand firm. You may not fully see it yet, but a major breakthrough is unfolding on the other side of your unwavering determination. The momentum is shifting. You can feel it. A promise is stirring within your spirit. Now is not the time to slow down. Take at least 18 minutes to absorb what follows. Then subscribe, and comment 77 feet to affirm your openness to receive. Finally, leave another comment, ready for what's next, in a natural human tone. Doing so places you at the threshold of a true breakthrough and welcomes a whole new season of blessings. You've spent too long convincing yourself that things would improve if you just held on, stayed patient, and avoided making waves. Yet no matter how many prayers you lifted or how many nights you wrestled with your thoughts, you kept hitting barriers. Still, you never gave up. The people around you couldn't grasp your resilience. At times, even you questioned your own persistence, holding on to hope when everything and everyone insisted it wasn't worth it. But that perseverance set something greater in motion, a divine plan unfolding beyond what you could see. Now it's all coming together into a reward so profound that you must prepare yourself for celebration. You are not here by accident. As a chosen one, you are standing on the edge of tangible proof that your relentless faith was never in vain. In a world that constantly tests our limits, there is something extraordinary about the human spirit's refusal to give up. Perseverance is the silent strength that carries us forward when all seems lost. When the path ahead is difficult and every step feels like a struggle, it's that unwavering resolve that fuels the fire within us to keep moving, even when the obstacles appear insurmountable. The journey is never easy, but it is within these challenges that resilience is forged. When doubt creeps in and failure seems inevitable, perseverance reminds us, don't stop now. Your breakthrough is closer than you think. It's about standing strong even when the world tries to hold you back. The belief that something greater lies beyond the struggle is what keeps us moving forward against all odds. Perseverance is more than just an action, it's a mindset. It's the daily decision to rise, to try again, and to push beyond limitations. Whether you're facing criticism, rejection, or inner fears, perseverance teaches you the power of persistence. It's the courage to rise after every fall, to climb higher after each setback. The road may be long and filled with challenges, but the end result, your victory, will make every sacrifice worth it. And in those quiet moments when the weight of the world feels heavy on your shoulders, remember this. Every step you take, no matter how small, brings you closer to the breakthrough you've been waiting for. Perseverance isn't just a skill, it's a testament to your inner strength, a symbol of your commitment to fulfilling your purpose, no matter the cost. There are moments in life when we feel like we've reached the end of the road, when everything seems stagnant and our efforts appear to be in vain. But it's often in these very moments that God is preparing us for something incredible, something far beyond what we could ever imagine. Breakthroughs are born in the spaces of discomfort, when we feel like we've given all we have and yet haven't seen the fruits of our labor. God's plan for us is not always clear from the start, and it's easy to lose hope when the results don't align with our expectations. However, divine timing is always at play. Sometimes what we see as delays or setbacks are actually God's way of positioning us for a greater victory. The breakthrough you are waiting for is already on its way, carefully designed to align with your unique purpose. Trusting in God's plan means surrendering control and letting go of the illusion that we can orchestrate everything ourselves. It requires faith that even in the waiting, God is working behind the scenes, orchestrating events that will bring about the success we desire. The key is to stay faithful, to remain steadfast, and to trust that every moment of struggle is a part of the greater plan. The breakthrough that awaits you isn't just about success, it's about transformation. It's the moment when everything aligns, when your efforts and faith culminate into something powerful, changing not just your life, but the lives of those around you. Hold on. Your breakthrough is coming, and it will be more magnificent than you could ever have imagined. There's a unique kind of strength required to stand firm in the face of doubt, both from others and from within ourselves. When the world questions our path and the whispers of uncertainty threaten to weaken our resolve, it takes immense courage to remain grounded in our beliefs. Standing firm is a bold declaration that you trust your journey, even when it doesn't make sense to others. Doubt can often be paralyzing. It's the voice in your head that tells you you're not enough or that you're unworthy of the success you crave. But standing firm in the face of doubt isn't just about ignoring these thoughts. It's about confronting them with courage and conviction. It's about acknowledging your fears and deciding that they will not control you. Each time you face doubt and push through it, you become stronger, more resilient. Your courage becomes a shield that protects your vision from the negativity that surrounds you. It's this very courage that propels you forward, step by step, inching closer to your goal, even when everything seems uncertain. When you stand firm, you not only prove to yourself that you are capable, but you also inspire those around you. Your faith and determination become a beacon for others who may be struggling with their own doubts. By remaining unwavering, you not only fulfill your purpose, but also pave the way for others to find their own strength. Compromise can seem like an easy solution in a world that thrives on conformity, but often it comes at a cost, especially when it comes to our purpose and calling. Crossing boundaries or compromising our values to fit into societal norms might bring short-term comfort, but it can lead to long-term dissatisfaction and regret. The key to true fulfillment is not in compromising who we are, but in standing firmly in our authenticity. At times, society pressures us to conform, to follow paths that aren't aligned with our true selves. Whether it's in our careers, relationships, or even our spiritual walk, compromise feels like the path of least resistance. But it's important to realize that every time we compromise on our values, we move farther away from our true purpose. Breaking free from compromise requires courage, the courage to say no to what the world deems acceptable and yes to what your soul craves. It's a powerful act of self-respect. By refusing to cross boundaries for the sake of fitting in, you begin to live authentically, unapologetically pursuing your purpose without fear of judgment. Living authentically is not without its challenges. It's often lonely at first as you stand apart from the crowd. But in the end, those who have the strength to resist compromise are the ones who lead the way toward true happiness and success. Trust that the road less traveled, though harder, is the one that leads to real fulfillment. So many of us spend years shrinking ourselves, trying to fit into molds that don't align with our true essence. It's easy to get caught in the comparison trap, doubting whether we're capable of achieving the dreams we've been given. But it's time to stop shrinking and start soaring. Your calling is not meant to be a small, quiet whisper. It is a loud, clear declaration of who you are meant to become. The transition from shrinking to soaring requires a profound shift in perspective. It's about recognizing that your gifts, your talents, and your voice are valuable, not to be hidden or diminished, but to be shared with the world. Embracing your calling means acknowledging that you have something unique to offer and that the world will be better for it. When you embrace your true calling, you let go of the fear of judgment and begin to step into the fullness of who you are meant to be. It's a liberating process. No longer do you feel confined by expectations or limited by fear. Instead, you rise, ready to take on whatever challenges come your way, knowing that you are fully equipped for the journey ahead. Soaring into your calling requires action. It requires stepping out of your comfort zone, breaking free from the chains of self-doubt, and trusting that God has equipped you for this purpose. You are meant to soar, so don't let anything hold you back. Growth often requires letting go of habits, beliefs, and sometimes relationships that no longer serve your highest good. While leaving behind, toxic relationships can be painful. It's an essential part of personal and spiritual growth. Toxic relationships, whether with family, friends, or partners, drain your energy and hinder your progress. But cutting these ties allows you to step into the fullness of your potential. There's no doubt that letting go is hard. It feels like losing a part of yourself, especially if you've invested so much time and energy into those connections. But the pain of growth is necessary for transformation. Holding on to toxic relationships only keeps you stuck, unable to move forward. The moment you release them, you make space for healthier, more fulfilling connections to enter your life. It's important to understand that this process isn't about abandoning people out of spite. It's about self-care. and setting boundaries. It's about protecting your peace and ensuring that your energy is directed toward relationships that nurture and support your growth. God wants you to be surrounded by people who lift you up, not bring you down. As painful as it may be to walk away, remember that your growth is worth it. Every step you take away from toxic relationships is a step closer to your divine calling. And as you grow, you'll attract people who resonate with your new energy and who will support you in your journey. Trust the process. What you let go of will be replaced with something far better. As you embark on your journey of authenticity, you may find that the people who once walked with you no longer resonate with your energy. This can feel isolating, but rest assured that as you walk in your truth, new allies will appear. These are the people who will see you for who you truly are and who will walk alongside you with understanding and encouragement. Authenticity attracts like-minded individuals. When you are true to yourself, you radiate a frequency that draws others who share your values, vision, and purpose. These new allies will support you in ways that others could not. They will help you rise, encourage your growth, and push you to become the best version of yourself. The beauty of finding new allies is that they often arrive at just the right time, when you need them the most. They bring fresh perspectives, new ideas, and a sense of camaraderie that makes the journey feel less lonely. Together, you'll accomplish more, face challenges with courage, and celebrate each other's victories along the way. Surround yourself with people who align with your vision and purpose. These allies will not only encourage you, but will also hold you accountable, helping you stay on track as you navigate the challenges of your journey. The right people make all the difference. They are the wind beneath your wings as you soar toward your destiny. Throughout history, many figures have crossed boundaries in faith, defying the odds to fulfill their divine calling. From Moses parting the Red Sea to Esther stepping into the king's court to save her people, these stories show that crossing boundaries often precedes breakthrough. Just as they did, you too can step out of your comfort zone and trust that God will lead you to the victory you seek. Boundaries are often set by society, tradition, or our own fears. But when we allow God to guide us, these boundaries become stepping stones to greater things. The biblical figures we admired didn't let the status quo define them. They went beyond what was expected, and in doing so, they experienced life-changing breakthroughs. Stepping beyond your boundaries isn't always easy. There are risks involved, challenges to face, and fears to overcome. But with faith in God's plan, these challenges become opportunities for growth. As you take those courageous steps of faith, you may find that the very thing you feared becomes the catalyst for your breakthrough. God's promises are bigger than the boundaries we set for ourselves. He calls us to dream beyond what we see, to trust that He has greater plans for us than we could ever imagine. By crossing those boundaries, we step into the miraculous. And just like those biblical heroes, we experience the breakthrough we've been waiting for. Have you ever experienced that restless feeling deep within, the one that doesn't let you rest or settle, no matter how comfortable everything seems on the surface? This restlessness is more than just a discomfort. It's a divine calling, pulling you to grow, evolve, and step into something greater. It's God's way of stirring your heart, reminding you that there's more to your life than what you see right now. This inner restlessness often arises when we are stuck in situations that no longer align with our purpose. It's a whisper in your soul telling you that it's time to break free from the mundane and step into the extraordinary. It's easy to dismiss it as a mere unease, but when we take a moment to listen, we realize that this restlessness is the fuel that powers our journey toward greatness. While it may feel uncomfortable, this unrest is a blessing in disguise. It drives you to move beyond the familiar and take bold steps toward your true calling. It's the voice that says, "You're meant for more than this." It's time to stretch, to break free, and to claim your destiny. Embrace it because it's the very thing that will propel you to your breakthrough. Restlessness is the spark that ignites transformation. Instead of fearing it, lean into it. Trust that this discomfort is a sign that you're on the right path, even if it doesn't seem clear yet. Your soul is calling you to step up, to move forward with faith, knowing that on the other side of this restlessness lies a life beyond your wildest dreams. Restlessness isn't something to be avoided. It's something to be embraced. It's easy to feel frustrated when you can't quiet the stirring within your heart. But what if this restlessness is exactly what you need to hear? What if it's the voice of God urging you to move beyond where you are, to become more than you ever imagined? When we embrace restlessness as a divine call, we start to understand that it's not a sign of dissatisfaction, but a sign of divine purpose. It's God's way of showing us that there's a deeper calling for our lives, a path that's uniquely ours to walk. Restlessness is the invitation to step into the unknown, to trust that the journey ahead will lead to something incredible. God doesn't call us to comfort, He calls us to growth. This growth is often accompanied by restlessness as it pushes us to shed old patterns, mindsets, and relationships that no longer serve our higher purpose. This process of transformation is uncomfortable but necessary. As we embrace it, we begin to see how it leads us toward our breakthrough. Instead of fighting against this internal restlessness, surrender to it. Allow it to guide you, to challenge you, and to help you see beyond your present circumstances. Your calling is bigger than your current reality, and this restlessness is the catalyst for stepping into that higher calling. Trust that with every ounce of discomfort, you're being prepared for something extraordinary. Self-doubt is one of the most paralyzing forces we face on our journey. It whispers lies in our ears, convincing us that we're not enough, that we're not worthy of success, and that we don't have what it takes. But the truth is, self-doubt is nothing more than an illusion, a false narrative we've allowed ourselves to believe. Breaking free from it requires us to face these lies head-on and replace them with the truth of who we really are. To dismantle self-doubt, we must first recognize that it doesn't define us. These doubts are often born from past failures, negative experiences, or the expectations of others, but they are not our reality. We are fearfully and wonderfully made, equipped with everything we need to fulfill our purpose. Every moment spent doubting ourselves is a moment we take away from embracing our true potential. The key to breaking free from self-doubt is to silence the negative voices, both external and internal, and replace them with affirmations of faith. Remind yourself daily that you are enough, that you are capable, and that your purpose is worth fighting for. With every declaration of self-belief, the walls of doubt begin to crumble, revealing the strength and power you've always had inside you. The more you dismantle self-doubt, the more you align yourself with your true purpose. The confidence you gain becomes the foundation upon which you build your dreams. Trust that your worth isn't defined by your past mistakes or the opinions of others, but by the divine calling placed on your life. You are destined for greatness. Believe it and step boldly into your future. We all face internal struggles, moments when our mind and heart are at odds, when fear and uncertainty cloud our judgment. But it is during these times that faith becomes our strongest weapon. Faith is the anchor that keeps us grounded when the storms of doubt, fear, and insecurity threaten to overwhelm us. It's the belief that no matter how tough the journey gets, God's promises will see us through. Faith is not the absence of fear. It's the decision to move forward despite it. In the midst of internal struggles, faith provides us with clarity and strength. It reminds us that God is with us, even when we can't see the way forward. Faith helps us to trust that He, soul, telling you that it's time to break free from the mundane and step into the extraordinary. It's easy to dismiss it as a mere unease, but when we take a moment to listen, we realize that this restlessness is the fuel that powers our journey toward greatness. While it may feel uncomfortable, this unrest is a blessing in disguise. It drives you to move beyond the familiar and take bold steps toward your true calling. It's the voice that says, "You're meant for more than this." It's time to stretch, to break free, and to claim your destiny. Embrace it because it's the very thing that will propel you to your breakthrough. Restlessness is the spark that ignites transformation. Instead of fearing it, lean into it. Trust that this discomfort is a sign that you're on the right path, even if it doesn't seem clear yet. Your soul is calling you to step up, to move forward with faith, knowing that on the other side of this restlessness lies a life beyond your wildest dreams. Restlessness isn't something to be avoided. It's something to be embraced. It's easy to feel frustrated when you can't quiet the stirring within your heart. But what if this restlessness is exactly what you need to hear? What if it's the voice of God urging you to move beyond where you are, to become more than you ever imagined? When we embrace restlessness as a divine call, we start to understand that it's not a sign of dissatisfaction, but a sign of divine purpose. It's God's way of showing us that there's a deeper calling for our lives, a path that's uniquely ours to walk. Restlessness is the invitation to step into the unknown, to trust that the journey ahead will lead to something incredible. God doesn't call us to comfort, He calls us to growth. This growth is often accompanied by restlessness as it pushes us to shed old patterns, mindsets, and relationships that no longer serve our higher purpose. This process of transformation is uncomfortable but necessary. As we embrace it, we begin to see how it leads us toward our breakthrough. Instead of fighting against this internal restlessness, surrender to it. Allow it to guide you, to challenge you, and to help you see beyond your present circumstances. Your calling is bigger than your current reality, and this restlessness is the catalyst for stepping into that higher calling. Trust that with every ounce of discomfort, you're being prepared for something extraordinary. Self-doubt is one of the most paralyzing forces we face on our journey. It whispers lies in our ears, convincing us that we're not enough, that we're not worthy of success, and that we don't have what it takes. But the truth is, self-doubt is nothing more than an illusion, a false narrative we've allowed ourselves to believe. Breaking free from it requires us to face these lies head-on and replace them with the truth of who we really are. To dismantle self-doubt, we must first recognize that it doesn't define us. These doubts are often born from past failures, negative experiences, or the expectations of others. But they are not our reality. We are fearfully and wonderfully made, equipped with everything we need to fulfill our purpose. Every moment spent doubting ourselves is a moment we take away from embracing our true potential. The key to breaking free from self-doubt is to silence the negative voices, both external and internal, and replace them with affirmations of faith. Remind yourself daily that you are enough, that you are capable, and that your purpose is worth fighting for. With every declaration of self-belief, the walls of doubt begin to crumble, revealing the strength and power you've always had inside you. The more you dismantle self-doubt, the more you align yourself with your true purpose. The confidence you gain becomes the foundation upon which you build your dreams. Trust that your worth isn't defined by your past mistakes or the opinions of others, but by the divine calling that's placed on your life. You are destined for greatness. Believe it and step boldly into your future. We all face internal struggles, moments when our mind and heart are at odds, when fear and uncertainty cloud our judgment. But it is during these times that faith becomes our strongest weapon. Faith is the anchor that keeps us grounded when the storms of doubt, fear, and insecurity threaten to overwhelm us. It's the belief that no matter how tough the journey gets, God's promises will see us through. Faith is not the absence of fear, it's the decision to move forward despite it. In the midst of internal struggles, faith provides us with clarity and strength. It reminds us that God is with us, even when we can't see the way forward. Faith helps us to trust that He is working behind the scenes, orchestrating everything for our good, even in the moments when it feels like we're losing ground. When internal struggles arise, faith allows us to take the next step, even when we don't have all the answers. It's the courage to keep going, even when the path ahead is unclear. With faith, we can confront our fears and doubts head-on, knowing that every challenge we face is an opportunity for growth. And as we grow, we become more aligned with our divine purpose. So when you find yourself battling internal struggles, lean into your faith. Remember that you are never alone in your fight. Trust that with every step of faith you take, you are moving closer to your breakthrough. Faith is the key that unlocks the door to your purpose. It's what transforms struggles into stepping stones. It's easy to think that big breakthroughs come from giant leaps. But the truth is, every major victory begins with small, seemingly insignificant steps. Just like a chain reaction, small acts of faith, discipline, and perseverance can set off a series of events that lead to something far greater than we could ever have imagined. Every time you choose to take one more step, no matter how small, you are positioning yourself for a breakthrough. These small steps are often the hardest because they require consistency, patience, and trust. It's the daily decisions to believe in yourself, to push through discomfort, and to stay committed to your purpose, even when it seems like nothing is happening. But over time, These seemingly small choices begin to build momentum, creating a spiritual chain reaction that propels you forward. God honors every step of faith, no matter how small. When we take those small steps, He meets us where we are and multiplies our efforts. He begins to open doors, connect us with the right people, and create opportunities that we could never have anticipated. What seemed like a small, insignificant action becomes the foundation for a major breakthrough. So don't discount the power of small steps. They are the building blocks of transformation. Keep moving forward, even if it feels like you're barely making progress. Trust that each step you take is bringing you closer to the breakthrough you've been waiting for. In our fast-paced world, it's easy to become impatient when things don't happen as quickly as we'd like. We often try to force things to move faster, believing that speed equals success. But divine timing is far more powerful than human timing. Trusting God's timing means understanding that there's a perfect moment for everything. And when we align with that moment, everything falls into place. When we try to rush God's plan, we often end up frustrated and defeated. But when we trust in divine timing, we experience synergy, the seamless connection of events, people, and opportunities that work together in harmony. Trusting the process allows us to stay calm and confident, knowing that what's meant for us will never pass us by. Panic and anxiety only disrupt the flow of God's plan. When we trust His timing, we surrender the need for control and allow Him to lead us. This trust gives us peace, even in the midst of uncertainty. As we wait, we are being prepared for something greater, something that will come at just the right time. Divine timing is always perfect, and it's always worth the wait. So stop rushing. Trust that God's plan is unfolding exactly as it should. There's no need for panic or worry. When the time is right, everything will fall into place, and you will see that God's timing was far better than anything you could have orchestrated yourself. In the final stages of your journey, when you're on the brink of fulfilling your purpose, you may encounter one last obstacle: the doubt and criticism of others. People who once watched your struggle will start to voice their opinions, questioning whether you're capable of succeeding or whether you're truly following the right path. But the truth is, their doubts don't matter. Only God's purpose for your life does. As you push through to the finish line, remember that the opinions of others do not define your worth or your journey. Their doubts are not the measure of your success. The only opinion that matters is God's, and He has already declared that you are capable of fulfilling your purpose. Their skepticism is just noise in the background, and it cannot stop the momentum God has set in motion. In the end, your victory will speak louder than their doubts. The breakthrough that comes after years of perseverance will silence every critic and affirm that you are always destined for this moment. By staying true to your purpose, you will not only fulfill your own calling, but you will also inspire others to overcome their own doubts and pursue their own dreams. So walk confidently toward your victory. The final victory is not just about achieving success. It's about staying true to your purpose, trusting God's plan, and silencing the doubts of the watchers who never believed in you. Your victory will be a testament to your faith, your perseverance, and your unshakable belief in the divine calling on your life. There comes a time in every person's life when they must confront their limitations, the mental, emotional, and physical boundaries they have set for themselves. These limitations often arise from past experiences, societal expectations, and self-doubt. But the truth is, most of these limitations are only illusions. When you embark on the journey of self-discovery, you begin to peel back the layers that have been keeping you small and uncover the vast potential that lies within you. Self-discovery is a powerful and transformative process. It requires courage to ask difficult questions and to face uncomfortable truths about who you are and who you can become. It's a journey of peeling away false identities and reconnecting with your true self, one that is free from fear, doubt, and the constraints of the past. As you explore your inner landscape, you realize that many of the limitations you thought were real were merely reflections of a mindset that no longer serves you. When you step into self-discovery, you begin to see yourself through a new lens. You uncover hidden talents, untapped potential, and an unshakable sense of purpose. It's in this space of realization that true freedom begins. No longer bound by the chains of doubt, you soar to new heights, confident in your worth and equipped to take on any challenge. The limitations that once held you back are replaced with boundless possibilities. The journey of self-discovery is ongoing, a continual process of growth, expansion, and transformation. It's not a destination, but a path that leads to a higher version of yourself. By embracing this path, you unlock your fullest potential and accept the truth that you are capable of far more than you ever imagined. The only limits that exist are the ones you place on yourself. Rise beyond them, and the world becomes your playground. Fear of the unknown is one of the most common obstacles we face when pursuing our dreams. The uncertainty of what lies ahead can feel overwhelming, especially when we step into uncharted territory. But it's essential to realize that it is often in the unknown that we find the greatest opportunities for growth, transformation, and divine breakthroughs. Fear may try to hold you back, but embracing the unknown is the key to unlocking your true potential. Stepping into the unknown requires immense courage. It's the willingness to leave behind what's comfortable and familiar, to take that first uncertain step into a world full of possibilities. The fear of what could go wrong often paralyzes us. But the truth is, what could go right is far greater. The unknown is where miracles happen, where new paths are created, and where you can begin to create a reality beyond your wildest dreams. As you embrace the unknown, you tap into a divine source of courage and strength. Every step forward, no matter how small, builds momentum. The uncertainty becomes less daunting when you trust that God has already gone before you, preparing the way. With faith as your compass, you navigate the unknown with confidence, knowing that every challenge is an opportunity for growth, and every risk is a step closer to your destiny. Fear of the unknown will always be present, but it doesn't have to control you. As you continue to embrace uncertainty, you will realize that it's not the unknown that holds power over you. It's your willingness to trust, to step into the unknown with faith, and to allow God's guidance to lead you. The horizon is waiting for you to cross it, and on the other side, you'll find everything you've been seeking. We all carry stories within us, the stories of our past, our mistakes, our regrets, and our perceived failures. These stories can either imprison us or empower us. The beauty of life is that we have the ability to rewrite our narrative, to change the trajectory of our future by choosing how we respond to our past. Self-redemption is the act of reclaiming your story and transforming it from one of limitation to one of infinite possibility. Self-redemption starts with forgiveness. First, forgiving yourself for the mistakes you've made, and then choosing to release the guilt and shame that have held you captive. When we hold on to our past, it becomes an anchor weighing us down and keeping us from moving forward. But when we choose to let go, we free ourselves to write a new chapter, one filled with hope, courage, and renewal. Your past does not define you, it refines you. Every setback, every failure, every heartache has prepared you for the person you are becoming. As you begin to rewrite your story, you stop seeing yourself as a victim of circumstances and start seeing yourself as a victor. Your past becomes the foundation upon which your future is built. A future full of potential, strength, and resilience. To rewrite your story, you must embrace your worth and acknowledge the power you have to shape your own destiny. It's not about erasing the past, but about using it as a tool for growth. Your redemption is in your hands, and you have the power to create a story that reflects your strength, faith, and courage. Step into your new narrative and watch as your life unfolds into something far greater than you could have ever imagined. Letting go is one of the most challenging yet necessary aspects of personal growth. We often hold on to things, relationships, situations, and beliefs that no longer serve us simply because they are familiar. But the art of letting go is about releasing the old so that we can make space for the new. It's a process of trusting that what's meant for you will never pass you by, and that by letting go, you open the door to new possibilities. Letting go is not about forgetting, it's about freeing yourself from the emotional baggage that keeps you stuck in the past. Whether it's a toxic relationship, a limiting belief, or a painful experience, holding on to these things only hinders your growth. To let go, you must first acknowledge the pain, the attachment, and the fear of what you might lose. But the real truth is, when you let go, you gain something even greater, a renewed sense of self, a deeper connection to your purpose, and the freedom to step into your destiny. As you release what no longer serves you, you begin to align with your highest good. God has a plan for your life, and often that plan requires you to release certain things that are blocking your path. Letting go is an act of faith, an acknowledgement that you trust the process and the divine timing of your life. It's a surrendering of control and an acceptance that the best is yet to come. The art of letting go is a process, one that takes time and patience. But as you continue to release, you will find that your heart becomes lighter, your mind clearer, and your spirit freer. You create space for new blessings, new opportunities, and new relationships that will elevate you to the next level of your journey. Letting go is not loss, it's gain in disguise. Failure is often seen as something to be avoided at all costs. But what if we reframed our perspective on failure and saw it not as a setback, but as a stepping stone toward success? Every failure, every mistake, every misstep is a lesson in disguise, offering valuable insights that propel us toward our ultimate goals. Embracing failure as a part of the journey can be the key to unlocking your full potential. Failure is not the opposite of success. It is a crucial part of the process. The most successful people in history have failed countless times before achieving their goals. But instead of letting failure define them, they used it as a launch pad for growth and improvement. Each failure taught them something valuable: how to be resilient, how to adapt, and how to keep moving forward. When we embrace failure, we shift from a mindset of fear to one of growth. We stop seeing setbacks as signs of defeat and start seeing them as opportunities to learn and improve. The key is to never let failure deter you from your purpose. Every failure brings you closer to your breakthrough, and every lesson learned is a step closer to achieving your ultimate goals. So instead of fearing failure, embrace it. See it as a necessary part of your journey to success. When you change your mindset and begin to view failure as a friend rather than an enemy, you'll realize that the path to success is not a straight line, but a series of lessons, growth, and resilience. Failure is not final. It's just a stepping stone along the way. Gratitude is one of the most powerful emotions we can cultivate. It's the ability to look beyond what is lacking and focus on what is abundant in our lives. When we practice gratitude, we shift our perspective from scarcity to abundance, from lack to fulfillment. Gratitude has the power to transform our mindset, attract blessings, and unlock a deep sense of joy, regardless of our circumstances. When you choose gratitude, you begin to see the beauty in the ordinary. You stop waiting for some grand event or achievement to bring you happiness, and instead find joy in the small moments: an act of kindness, a moment of peace, a beautiful sunset. Gratitude shifts your focus from what's wrong to what's right, and in doing so, it opens the door to greater joy and fulfillment. Cultivating gratitude is a practice that requires intention. It's about creating space in your life to reflect on the blessings you already have, no matter how small. When you make gratitude a habit, you begin to see the world through a lens of abundance. You attract more of what you appreciate and recognize the divine good in every moment of your life. Gratitude doesn't just change your perspective, it changes your energy. When you are grateful, you radiate positivity and attract more to be grateful for. It's the secret to unlocking joy, peace, and fulfillment in your life. Embrace gratitude and watch as it transforms every aspect of your journey. The courage to dream big is the ability to see beyond your current circumstances and imagine a future filled with endless possibilities. It's about trusting your vision, no matter how audacious it may seem. Dreams are the blueprint of your soul, the calling of your heart, and the whispers of God urging you to step into a higher version of yourself. To dream big is to believe that anything is possible and that the sky is not the limit. It's just the beginning. Dreams often feel unattainable because they challenge us to step outside of our comfort zone. They require us to confront our fears, break through our limitations, and trust that we have the resources and support we need to make them a reality. But when you dare to dream big, you unlock a power within you that goes beyond what you can see or touch. You tap into divine momentum, where every step you take is guided by purpose. To trust your vision means to trust the process. It means having faith that every obstacle, every challenge, and every detour is part of your story. part of the grand adventure that will ultimately lead you to your dreams. Dreaming big requires patience, perseverance, and a deep belief that God has placed that dream in your heart for a reason. So don't be afraid to dream big. Trust that your vision is valid, that your dreams are achievable, and that you are capable of achieving more than you ever thought possible. Your dreams are the roadmap to your destiny. Embrace them, pursue them, and know that with God's guidance, you can accomplish the unimaginable. There's a unique power in authenticity, the ability to speak, act, and live in alignment with who you truly are. For many of us, finding our voice is a journey of self-discovery, a process of unlearning the lies we've been told and stepping into the truth of who we were created to be. When you find your voice, you begin to speak with conviction, to live with purpose, and to stand firm in your identity. Authenticity requires courage because it often means going against the grain. It's about shedding the need for approval and stepping into the fullness of your own truth. When you are authentic, you no longer seek validation from others because you are secure in your identity. You understand that you are enough just as you are and that your voice has the power to impact the world. Finding your voice is not just about what you say, it's about how you live. It's about embodying your truth in every action, decision, and relationship. When you align your words with your actions, you become a living testament to the power of authenticity. Your life becomes an example of what's possible when you embrace your true self and refuse to hide behind masks. The power of authenticity lies in its ability to inspire others to do the same. When you find your voice, you give others permission to find theirs. Your authenticity becomes a beacon, drawing people toward their own truth. So step into your power, embrace your uniqueness, and let your voice be heard. The world needs the authentic version of you. Living with intention means making deliberate choices that align with your values, dreams, and purpose. It's about being conscious of how you spend your time, energy, and resources, ensuring that everything you do brings you closer to the life you want to create. Living with intention is not about perfection. It's about being purposeful in every moment and taking aligned actions toward your goals. When you live with intention, you become the architect of your life. Instead of drifting aimlessly or letting circumstances dictate your path, you take charge and steer your life in the direction you desire. Each choice becomes an opportunity to build the life you've always wanted. Whether it's in your career, relationships, or personal growth, living with intention helps you stay focused on what truly matters. Living intentionally also means setting clear goals and aligning your actions with those goals. It requires discipline and clarity of purpose. It's about saying no to distractions and yes to what aligns with your vision for the future. Living with intention brings a sense of fulfillment because you know that every action you take is leading you closer to your destiny. So live with intention. Be conscious of every choice you make and ensure that your actions are aligned with the life you want to create. When you live intentionally, you create a life filled with purpose, meaning, and joy. Your life becomes a reflection of your deepest desires and your greatest potential. Faith is the foundation of every breakthrough, every victory, and every success. It is the unwavering belief that even when things seem impossible, God is at work behind the scenes, orchestrating everything for our good. Faith is the bridge between where you are now and where you're meant to be. It is through faith that you unlock your divine potential and step into the fullness of who you were always meant to become. Faith is not just about belief, it's about action. True faith moves you to act even when you can't see the full picture.